So I'm sure many people have seen the videos circulating the interwebs, okay? And it is about how you had the one black teacher, the male black teacher, who was allowing his students to not only paint his nails in class, but also take down his braids in class as well. Okay. We will be talking about this story. So we're actually just going to be talking about this story and the issue with it, okay? Because it seems like a lot of people are actually divided by it. Some people are saying there's nothing wrong with it. What's the problem? You guys are over sexualizing things. That's the problem with the black community. Everyone wants to make everything sexual, yada, yada, yada. Then you have other people on the other side that are saying, no, this is highly inappropriate. It has nothing necessarily to do with, being sexual and us making kids sexual. This has everything to do with it's inappropriate, unprofessional. Okay. I'm gonna be real. I fall on the line of the second part where this is unprofessional and it is inappropriate. The reason why I say that is because we are in school, okay? We're in school. These kids, and I'm not trying to be mean, but these kids ain't killing it in the grades, okay? You have a lot of people, a lot of these kids, a lot of black students specifically that are not reading at their grade level. For example, if they are in ninth grade, they're reading at a sixth grade level. I think the last thing you need to be doing is painting nails and undoing people's braids. Okay. Now, in the teacher's defense, for some people, the teacher was actually saying how for people who have this profession in mind for when they grow up, he's giving them training. So, hey, the girl, she wants to be a nail tech. So I'm just going to allow her to go and paint my nails. Okay. So that's the whole thing. Oh, well, she wants to be a braider when she grows up. So let me just allow her to undo my braids, so she can get the experience. I just feel like this is this like a cosmetology school? Is this like a nail tech kind of school or what's going on? Because this to me seems like a regular schmegular high school, which in my opinion, you should not be doing any of that up in there. Also, another thing is just the closeness that you are with students. That's also why people found it to be unprofessional. But I have some notes, I have some bullet points. I don't want to miss anything. So I'm going to just go through them. Okay. But yes, like I was saying, first off, it may not necessarily be sexual in nature, but yes, it is inappropriate, unprofessional. The reasonings for it is because one, this class ain't for that. Okay, this class is not for this. We are supposed to be learning. I don't know what profession he is in, or what subject he teaches, rather. But let's say he's a math teacher. Okay, we're supposed to be learning algebra, calculus, whatnot. Okay, we're not supposed to be learning how to unbraid your hair. Me getting this close, having a child this close to my face, and undoing my hair or touching me like this. Okay, at least when I was in school, there was no besides the hug. And even when you would give a teacher a hug, unless it was like graduation or something like that, something near the end of the school year, I didn't have that. I only had it really in elementary. I wasn't hugging my teachers. Okay. I wasn't, doing any of that. It would be like a handshake or a pounded. I didn't really like shaking people's hands because, people don't be watching their hands nowadays. But it was always like a pounded or okay, one of those kind of things. I wasn't all up on you. Oh, yes, let me go ahead and do all this. I wasn't doing all that. So for me, I look at this and I'm like, still, I wasn't doing that. I just didn't feel like that was appropriate. Another thing was you didn't follow your teachers on social media. You just didn't do that. That wasn't a thing. At least for me. Like I said, things could be different nowadays. I don't know. But for me, it wasn't a let's go and follow, our teacher on social media and oh, let's go and do all this and let's go and see what they're doing today. Boundaries? I don't know. It could just be me, but that's the thing. Where do we draw the line? Okay. And some people are also thinking about this, speculating, having their own little thoughts about it. And I understand because, like, well, where do you draw the line then? Okay. Where would that necessarily be? Would that be, hey, we're in a classroom, everyone's here, let's go in, undo my hair, yay, you guys can braid my hair, it'd be so much fun. Or, hey, Stacy, could you just stay back and could you just braid my hair? Everyone else, y'all could go, later for you. But Stacy, could you come Or hey, how about we just go and have like a nice coffee? I go and take it to McDonald's. That's what R. Kelly, okay? I could just go and take it to McDonald's and we could just, and then we could hang out and then we could, and then now we got a case of surviving R. Kelly. You know what I mean? So where do we draw the line on this kind of stuff? All right. I think it was very inappropriate. It just, do that stuff at your house, man. And yeah, I'm gonna be real. I have done my hair at my job, okay? But I did my hair. I didn't have other people, and I definitely didn't have any underage people touching on me, okay? So that's how I felt. Also, another thing, it was said that he was live streaming this in his classroom. Why are you doing that? That's something I also know. It's not get social media. People gotta make their money. People gotta do what they gotta do. Okay, I get it. But that's also another thing for me because it's like, why are you guys being? Hey, I feel like this. You could get your stuff done. You could go and send some tweets out. Okay, okay, okay. But I'm just like, why are you live streaming though in your classroom? Why are you putting these people on your video in your classroom? And why do you think that that's an okay thing to do? You know, that's something I really don't get why he thought that that was appropriate to do. I honestly didn't think that was appropriate, but okay. All right. Also, another thing that people were talking about, and you obviously saw, is the fact that there were no male students there at all painting his nails or doing his hair. So that's also another thing because it really brings up the question of, I guess you got to say, it really brings up the question of sexuality, you know, growing, you know, adolescence and what that looks like, puberty and all that kind of stuff. I'm sure we've all had teachers. I know I can speak from personal experience where you had a teacher you had a crush on, okay? But then that's where you have the adult and the child, okay? Where the adult knows, I think she thinks I'm cute. I mean, I know I look good, okay? But okay, so what do? There's no touching. There's no, oh, hey, Mr. D. There's none of that. No, you're gonna call me Mr. Daniel. We're not intermingling anything, okay? Because I don't want to catch a case. I don't want you trying to think that you could get with me and you think that I'm interested and I'm not interested or anything like that. All right, so that's also another thing in there as well. But another point I wanted to bring up was, I guess you could say, the other trend that's going on where you have female teachers who are allowing their female students to do the exact same thing. The only difference is instead of a male teacher, it's just a female teacher. I still think that's inappropriate. Because I've seen a videos and you had a girl who was doing her box braids for her teacher, and I'm like, why are we doing this in class? I mean, now if this was a class where yes, you are, you know, cosmetology or hair school, natural hair school, something like that, that's different. But this isn't that. This is regular school. So why are you allowing these students to be touching all up on you, all up in your hair and doing all this other stuff? And I get, yes, you could be a fun teacher. You can have, you know, hey, let's all hang out. Let's come to my room, you know, during lunch period so you don't have to be out there. Yeah, but there needs to be some rules, i.e., don't be touching people. Okay, because you don't want to catch any cases. And yes, I still think that it is inappropriate, whether it was the male or the female. Still, you shouldn't be doing it. Unless this is a class where we are specifically here to do hair, you shouldn't be doing it. That should not be happening. You know, so on both sides, that shouldn't happen. Now, it was said that the teacher, the male teacher, got fired. I say for punishment purposes, it should be, I wouldn't even say it shouldn't be termination. It shouldn't be suspension. In my opinion, I think you need a serious talking to. You need to go and pull out the ethics committee. You know, maybe you have a talk to with the assistant principal and then they tell you, yo, that's not cool. We're not going to be doing any live streaming up in here because we got people's children. Okay. This isn't some office job. You know, you have people's children up in here. We're not doing live streaming. We're not having people touch you, yada, yada, yada. Okay. Boom, next day. You know, I don't think the person needs to get fired. I don't think the person needs to get suspended necessarily. Now, some people may say yes, but I personally don't think that you need to really ruin someone's livelihood for something like this. I just think that he needed to understand that this isn't right. And other teachers that are doing this also need to understand that this is not right as well. But let me know what you all think about such story down below.